You know, we live in such a bifurcated media environment, cable news, and particularly, but also on the internet. Do you see the news enabling, amplifying the division? What do you see as the connection? People make some outrageous attack Donald Trump, but also other people, and then they fundraise around.
Yeah.
What role do you think the media are playing? Is there any way out of this atmosphere we're in?
Yeah. Social media makes things so much worse too. I mean, like, social media amplifies the worst actors, right? I mean, people say the craziest stuff, it's going to get tons and tons of attention on Twitter, and then people see it, and then that ends up shaping news coverage, and it's this reinforcing thing. The more outrageous you are on social media, the more attention you get, the more prominence you get, and suddenly you're a very influential member of Congress, you know? Like, you know, I think the media needs to do a better job, and to some extent I think that we're starting to learn about how exactly, just because one outrageous tweet or comment doesn't mean it's news. Not every media organization treats it the same way. Sometimes when one media organization jumps on something, others tend to follow. But the media has to have a role in making sure that if someone says something crazy and outlandish, or says something, it has news value to it. It's not just because they said it and it drives traffic or drives clicks. There's actually a reason why we're reporting this, because you care about it, because this person is running for office and you should know what he or she is saying, because what they're saying could affect how you may vote in an election. So there is a balance, but you know, that's all that we have to strike, and not just jump on every outrageous tweet. So,
is there something you've declined to somebody said that you've declined recently?
I can't think of anything. I mean, yes, oftentimes.
When Mike Pence withdrew, you showed Trump trashing him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you had to.
That seems like news.
Yes, you had to.
But what about other things?
I mean, look, Trump is posting on Truth Social, like, probably right now as I speak, right? So, like, I mean, I wake up and I get his Truth Social notifications, and I wake up and there's, 90 of them, because he's like, what do he call it, retruthing all these posts all night long. So, like, I'm not gonna report anything unless it's of significant or news value. There was something that we did. Oh yes, when Sidney Powell, his attorney, accepted a plea deal in the Georgia case. He posted on Truth Social that I've never heard of this woman before. I don't know who she is. So that to me is news, because he does know her. There's actually documentation. Oh, by the way, he tweeted that she was his attorney back in 2020. So like, so that requires some level of coverage. So you have to just balance what makes sense and in the moment. And but he is also the front runner for the Republican nomination, so we have to cover him aggressively, like we would any serious presidential candidate, which he is. He can win the presidency again, so you have to take what he says, and if it's newsworthy, report it with the context.